Ready? Do it again. Hey there, I'm Vito Trabucco.
And I'm Deborah Venegas.
And we're from Watch the Pretty Girls Suffer, Never Open a Door, and Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. And you're listening to
the 13th Wolfman.
Oh!
Who's that?
Did you invite anyone else?
I didn't get... What are you talking about?
I didn't invite anybody, did you?
Isaac!
There's something still out there.
You're gonna have to toughen up if we're gonna get through this, all right?
What the hell's wrong with this guy, huh?
Can I have a word with my wife, please?
She came up, she licked my face.
What do you mean she licked your face?
He punched him upstairs.
Try that again, right? Ow! This could just be the locals, the people from the town playing a joke on us.
Hey everybody, I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know who I have with me today? I have Vito Trabucco and Deborah, I'm going to say Venegas.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Never Open the Door. She's an actress. She plays Maria, and Vito is the director.
Hey.
So, welcome to Sit Down, you two. So you say you guys made this movie years ago, and it's kind of a blank slate now when it goes back to thinking about it.
So we did a movie about 5-6 years ago, which was Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. And when we got done wrapping that, it was just like, let's go make another movie. And so maybe like 5 or 6 months after that, we shot Never Open the Door. And literally, it was just kind of there sitting for a few years, and then it came out. So as far as like the filming of it, we did it years ago, and it was coming fresh off of Bloody Bloody, and that's why we had so many of the same cast and crew from that.
I love Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. I have a copy downstairs. I reviewed it for my channel. This is a cool movie. I know a lot of people that follow horror love that movie, but if you haven't seen Never Open the Door, this is a must-see. This is a love story to like 1960s Twilight Zones.
Cool. A lot of people don't recognize Deb from Bloody Bloody because she's all crazy
I don't
looking.
look like myself.
Okay. No, I just...
I look like Susie Sue and Robert Smith in Bloody Bloody. So people are like, "Oh, you were in that?" And I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, her mom didn't recognize her.
My mom didn't even recognize me. And I was like, "Well, I'm in there."
You got Reggie Bannister to be in the movie. I'm watching it. Yeah.
I mean, we just had such a good time doing Bloody Bloody. I think at that time we just wanted to keep that momentum and keep playing. Everything was very, both were ensemble casts, and it was very, I don't know, Vito had like a really playful kind of set. We did some improv. We did, You have a good sense of humor, and he's pretty like lighthearted about his directing style, so you can kind of, there's specific things that he has in his mind that like he really has to get in there, but he also lets everybody play a lot. So I think that was the idea with Never Open the Door. And then Chris's grandfather had directed some Twilight Zone episodes. Chris was a producer, so this was an homage to his grandfather as well.
Yeah, that's kind of where it started from. We were like, let's do something. He did a lot of cool movies in Twilight Zone, so we were like, let's do a black and white thing.
He did Hot Rods from Hell.
Yeah, that was one of his last movies, right?
That is, I remember seeing this movie all the time as a kid. you know. And if anyone's never seen Hot Rods from Hell, it's this crazy movie about this family going out on like a family trip cross country, and they get tormented by these teenagers in this tea bucket. You know,
I've seen that. A lot of people haven't seen that movie. That's funny.
I've been around a while. It was always on cable growing up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hitting 50 this year, so you know. No, I'm just saying. And the other cool thing is that his grandfather probably directed the most famous episode of Twilight Zone. The Burgess
Meredith one, right?
The Burgess Meredith one. Yeah.
That's my favorite one. I have like the toy at my house with him and all the books and everything. And it's definitely my favorite one. And that was like when I first met Chris. That was one of the conversations we first had. We talked about that episode, and I had no idea his grandfather did all that stuff. I knew the features he did from the 40s, like The Lodger, Hangover Square, those movies. But I didn't really know to the extent of all the Twilight Zones and stuff. So it was really cool.
Yeah, when I looked it up, when I had them on and I looked it up, I was like, oh my God. It's like the very last one in his Twilight Zone repertoire. And I'm like, this is like the most famous episode ever. You know, the bookworm that can't read because he broke his glasses. Yeah,
I love that episode. He actually won a DGA Best Director for that Twilight Zone episode. That's like the only award he ever won was that DGA. So it was really cool.
So how did you get into directing, Vito?
It just kind of happened. I went started off just doing different things, like everything from like stunts to effects, helping on camera. And then I was living in Florida. I just started doing shorts, and it just kind of snowballed from there. After I moved out here, was producing, and that's when I met Chris Maltaro, and that's when we did we started talking about Bloody Bloody Bible Camp, and it kind of started from there. That was like the first feature I did, but did a bunch before that.
Well, was it always horror? Was that the?
No, we talk about that all the time. It's like, we're in like this horror thing, but no, not always. In fact, the shorts I did, none of them were horror at all. And actually, Bloody Bloody Bible Camp is my first horror movie. Actually, from the shorts I did, and even the movies I've worked on, I think I did. I may have I've worked a little bit on horror flicks, but the first one was Bloody Bloody, definitely.
What about you, Deborah? I mean, how'd you get your start in the movie business?
Actually, when I was younger, I did my first thing was for Nickelodeon, and then I ended up moving out west. It's just like totally different. I started with like Teen Nick, and then I ended up moving out west, and then I got in with these guys. So that was weird, actually, because
all downhill from there.
Because I did this like really, organized, like traditional, mainstream kind of, filming, and it was like television, and I mean it was just totally different, and then I went and did my first feature was Bloody Bloody, and I did that with them, and it was like up in Crestline on a farm, like in the mountains.
It's awesome. Like, doing low budget's one thing, but when you actually do like a camp movie and it's on we're camping out basically doing it. It's like, it gets crazy. It's, you really test everyone's stamina.
Yeah, you do. And then you're almost like surprised that everybody stays friends, Well, we did, we did. Now Vito and I are writing together, and we directed a web series together. So, I mean, after that, so as much as you think that, there were some crazy things that happened on Bloody Bloody. And,
it's the craziest thing, I think, out of all the movies we've done. That's still the most wild stories.
But I never opened the door. We were sort of like high on all of our friendships. So we were like, yay, we're going to make another movie.
Right, yeah.
But Bloody Bloody, I think, still is like our favorite, out of definitely. Those two. And and that was just a nutty filming process, but it's
and it was like so organic though. Even like the madness made the movie better. Looking back on it, where like a lot of movies you watch, you get pissed off on things. It's one of the few movies I can watch and even if it's a screw up, I can still kind of like it and laugh at it. And, it'll always be a pretty fun movie.
I mean, some really good things came out of that.
We just wrapped, and hopefully it comes out in the next couple months. we did a web series we wrote together, and it's called Watch the Pretty Girls Suffer, and it's really cool. I can't wait for that to come out. So we think that's going to do all right.
Yeah.
Will there ever be a Bloody Bloody Bible Camp 2?
I don't think so.
No,
honestly, there's a story written. We talked about it. If we could do it, yeah, but you have to make money. The first one has to make money, I think, to do a sequel. Or there's no extension of the story to tell. I mean, it's literally just a camp. I don't really see a reason to do it unless it was a financial thing where we would come out and do it. But we definitely have a good idea for it if it ever did happen. But I don't know. I don't
understand that. This is one of the questions I have to ask.
Right.
I mean, because that Bloody Bloody Bible Camp is kind of like a cult hit. A lot of people love this movie and they've seen it, and it's everyone's always wondered, I asked the question. So.
I mean, maybe in a few more years, that'd be kind of funny if it's a little bit further in the future to do it. But right now, I don't know. It's just the comedy horror thing. You kind of get in doses of what you feel like doing, and I don't know. I mean, even Watch the Pretty Girl Suffer, it almost feels like it's in the vein of Bloody Bloody. It's kind of crazy, but you're gonna laugh at some of it, and so I mean,
it doesn't take itself seriously at all. We had a lot of fun with it. It's kind of ridiculous.
So it reminds me a lot of Bloody Bloody. So that type of movie, I feel like we're getting our fill on, right now.
Yeah. So what you got the web series? What after that? Anything else coming down the pipe for me too?
We're writing a script.
We're writing a feature right now that's gonna want to make that next. Actually, there's a documentary that is in the late phases of. Hopefully, at the end of the year, it will be done. That we're doing. It's called Henchman: The Al Leong Story. And if you don't know who Al Leong is, just Google his name, and you definitely know his face if you watch movies. Al Leong. But it's called Henchman, and we're doing that, but it's getting near the end. So we like other things, if an idea for a documentary comes up that we want to do in the future, we'll do that. It just depends. Kind of go with it.
You're talking about Alan Young, the guy from movies like The Time Machine.
No, Al Leong, he was in Big Trouble in Little China. Die Hard. He's Asian dude with the Fu Manchu and long hair. If you look him up, you'll be that guy from Big Trouble. It's usually what
I thought you were saying Alan Young, and I'm like, Alan Young, yeah. I don't know why people know who that is.
No.
Sorry about that. No, but that sounds like your plate's kind of full. What? So are you guys doing everything together? I mean, do you have any?
Most of it. I mean, I think we both I think that Al Leong's film is mostly a Vito project, but I think we keep each other kind of in the loop with things because.
Right.
I don't know. We like partnering for projects, I guess. We like writing together.
Yeah, I wish we were ready to go on this thing we're doing right now because we're kind of excited about this thing we're writing. It's kind of thriller-ish, so we're.
I know, but it's cool. You don't want to talk about it too much because then.
Yeah, we'll lose interest in it or whatever.
But that's what. Yeah, we'll talk to you again when we're ready.
No, notice that's why I'm not asking a whole lot about it. It's I want to see it. Yeah. So far, you've said two things. It's written by you two, and it's gonna be a thriller. So.
Yeah, it should be super fun.
Yeah.
But Never Open a Door 2. We're actually, it's funny because it came out a few years after we filmed it, so we were just happy anyone bought it. So.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
Well. We got to get ready for the live show. I want to thank you both for coming on. If people are looking for you, where can they find you on the internet?
I think if you just type in our names, we'll be pretty much on all that online stuff, whether it be Facebook.
You can our Watch the Pretty Girl Suffer page on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. Watch the Pretty Girl Suffer. There's all Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and our trailers on there. And the trailers, I think it's super cool. And it's pretty neat. And so yeah, everything on there, and there's also a Henchman Al Leong Facebook page. So yeah, if you just type any of it online somewhere, all that stuff will pop up, I think.
Cool. So I want to thank Deborah and Vito for coming on Sit Down. For them, I'm the 13th Wolfman, and of course, I'm on the prowl.
lucky people who, through some combination of chemical imbalance and the shitty environmental factors, have brain mutations that cause them to walk this earth, committing nothing but pure evil.
Please don't hurt me! I'll be a good girl!
I want to have fun! That's the only correct thing you said, Professor. Pure evil.
You got me.